And I hope you are well and welcome to yet another episode of Relax Riches. I am getting so on board with this. I'm loving having this conversation right off in the morning, and it is just so good because I do this right after I do like Voxer support with my clients. So the Oh my God. So the lessons are just so fresh, and I hope that you're making the most of this, right? So the topic for today is around how like your obsession with your current reality is what is blocking the new one, right? In the previous few episodes, I spoke about how you don't have to change yourself or anything around you for the new one to show up. It's just that all of that has to happen up here, right? Oh my God, I just have this one meme going off in my head. Okay, let me just talk about that later. So, our obsession or attachment with how things are right now, as in how business is right now, or how someone is showing up in your reality, or how someone is disrespecting you, or how success is not happening, how the algorithm is against you. These are all very real problems that your brain is putting towards you, right? It's like, okay, fine, things don't work out for you because of this, right? That's the evidence, right? So, because your brain has already formed these problems on the whole, it doesn't necessarily, oh my God, just let me just make sure if the voice is okay. I don't want there to be a lot of echo. Um, so the problem happens when the brain has set these problems in place for you, right? So now that the problems are set in place, all your brain has to do is go through the what do you want to say? Go to the database of all of these situations, right? So every time you think about your business, it has a script, like a negative script that goes on in your mind. You might have seen yourself every time you like lose your head and you get angry or you get pissed off, that script is always the same, right? Like, I'm tired of this. Maybe it's not meant for me. Why am I even going through this? Right? This is just ridiculous. And you have like a whole script that plays up when you think about business. In terms of relationships, right? You have that similar script. So every time your brain thinks about a problem, that whole script about relationships and how love shows up for you, how people show up for you, how you have been mistreated, how you have been disrespected, like that whole script keeps playing up for you. Okay? And then you have that same script for money. So every time you think about money, you go into that scarcity mode of how do I save more? How do I make more? There's never enough. What if I don't make money in future? Like, you have this whole script around that keeps playing as well. So you have such a strong attachment to the way things are right now. You have such dominant assumptions about how things are right now. And I also had a moment like this yesterday when I was like sort of having an argument, and I saw myself repeating these things. And you won't believe, I stopped mid argument. I went completely silent. I went away from that situation. I came back and I acted as if we didn't have an argument, right? Because I realized I was replaying that old script. And your brain loves it because it doesn't have to do much. It has to just go back to the database and play that old script. It doesn't have a new script. So now that your brain doesn't have a new script for all of these 4 to 5 areas of your life that you want to see massive improvement in, you have to give that new script now. You have to literally be like, this is how money was showing up for me. I choose differently. If you always felt like there's never enough, right? There's so much you want to do, but you always feel like money is just always running out, or there's always more bills than you would like. That's how the money was showing up for you. You have that script. Now, instead of subscribing to the script and being like confirming to that. So every moment you're clicking play on that old script, you're confirming, you're feeding more energy to it. So instead of that, you put up a new script, which is like, okay, fine, I see that this is how money has been showing up for me. This is how success has been showing up for me. It always feels like I'm the one chasing these things. That is the story, right? So instead of that, you have to be like, I am someone who's already successful. I am someone for whom money comes naturally. I am someone who easily attracts opportunities to make money. So if you're like, I don't have a business right now, or I don't have, like, the business is not doing too well, I would ask myself, okay, fine. I have so many opportunities for me to make money right now. I easily attract people, places, situations that are in my favor, that are always in my favor to get me to where I want to go. So you have to retrain and create a new script for success. You have to create a new script for your business. You have to start acting as if that new script is the one that's going to play out. And instead of spending 20,000 times or like literally a whole day repeating the new script so that your brain registers and adds this new script into the old one's place, which is a lot of effort, it'll keep you in that spiral, keep making you obsess over it more and keep triggering you more. How about you start practicing conscious awareness of that thing right now? So every time you have a thought about money, you have a thought about love, you have a thought about relationship, you have a thought about success, you have a thought about money, and you see that old script coming up, you say, wait, I'm not taking this bait. No, this is the old script. And if you sit down with yourself and you write down how these things are showing up for you, and you're practicing self-acceptance and accountability, you will see that it was almost like a mirror effect. Because you had these beliefs, the life had to play out that way. So, and vice versa. Because life was playing out that way, you kept confirming the old script. So that is what was happening this whole time. So if now you're like, I need to do things differently. So as they always say, instead of you trying to fix the mirror, you fix the script. And I know initially when you do this, it feels very triggering. And I don't want to put this out there. I know people who were right off the bat like, oh my God, I'm done with this old story. And this is what I'm going to be talking about now. Right? So you write this whole new way that money is showing up for you, whole new way that love shows up for you, this whole new way of how success and business shows up for you, right? And then whenever that old script comes up, you're like, wait. I am not subscribing to this. I'm no longer investing energy into this. And then instead of going over it with a lot of like panic and scarcity and on fear, you let that thing play out and you just sit back and observe. Okay, so that's how I did that. And I can see how that is being reflected in my life. Yeah, I get it. I always felt like I'm not lovable. And now that this person is ignoring me, is confirming that I'm not lovable. And it's a good, that's the mirror effect. That's what has been playing out for me. Or if you have a story which is like, money always runs out, right? And then you have that script come up, which is like, see, you've never had enough, right? Like, you've always had to struggle. And then you have all these evidences that your brain will keep up. So that is confirming the script. It's like, of course, there's evidence. Like, what are you talking about? Your brain is very logical. Your brain doesn't care what you want. It doesn't want you to thrive. It doesn't want you to be successful. It doesn't want you to be happy. It wants you to survive. And for some reason, you taking action or you doing something you love or you investing a lot of time and energy into what you want is scary for the brain. So your brain perceives it as a threat. So it's like, don't think that way. Keep thinking the way you're thinking. It's keeping you safe. Like, half of the things in my life got simplified when I started telling myself I'm safe. There's nothing physically harming me. There's nothing in my environment right now that is attacking me. I am safe in this moment. And like my brain would just keep on things. It will be like, but see, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. See, you tried back then, but it didn't work. You tried all of these things and life didn't turn out the way you wanted to. You have so much evidence. So stop doing this. You're putting yourself up for so much more embarrassment. Your brain will keep coming up with these stories. Your brain will keep telling you all of these things. But it's about, what story am I subscribing to? It will, as I said, the script will keep coming up. You have always been unlovable. People never choose you. You've failed at so many things. That script will come up. But your only job is, no, stop. Wait. I'm not subscribing to this. I'm not investing any more of my energy into this. So you sit back and you hear that voice playing out. You hear it till like that voice has nothing more to say. You keep hearing that voice. You let it play out in your mind. And then you stop and be like, okay, fine, I see how this was playing out up until this point. Now I'm no longer investing energy into this. This is what I'm choosing for it to be true for me. Right? You're not creating anything. I'm not of that belief. Everything is created. The moment Allah said kun fayakun, like everything was created. There's a version of you who was a doctor. There's a version of you who's an engineer. There's a version of you who is sick. There's a version of you who is married. There's a version of you who is old, like past, present, future. Everything is created. We're living in that grid, right? There's these blocks of reality that we are subscribing to. There's a reality of me that is still sleeping, that didn't wake up and put on makeup and sat in front of you, right, making this content. There's a version of me that never started an online business. So all of these already exist. So the one that you pick and you invest your energy focus into is the one that will play out. So then now there are so many different ways for you to do this. You can do this by scripting, you can do this by visualizing, meditating, 369 method. There's so many methods that people do to move from one place to another. The one that I like to do, which is the easiest, is mentally act as if I'm already that person now. How would this person think? How would this person feel? How would this person be? Right? What emotions is she feeling? So when you do that, you will see that old scripts, that old beliefs that you don't even have memories or recollection of, they just fade away. It almost feels like they don't even belong to you. Like sometimes now when I look back at some of the like old gallery pictures of mine, I don't even recognize that version of myself. Like it's like it comes with a lot of like empathy and a lot of compassion that, oh my God, Aisha, like you went through that. And it's so bizarre to me that I don't even recognize ever feeling like her. It almost feels like I've never been that person. It's like this one person that I knew in the past who was like this, who did this, who felt this way. And then now it doesn't feel like that. Now it literally feels like I'm completely a new person. Right? So where are you investing your energy in? Along this path, if you're like, okay, fine, I want to be successful, I want to have a lot of money, I want to run a successful business, and I want an amazing relationship, but you know what? It's going to take time. It's going to take time for me to get from this place to this place, or it's going to take time for me to make thousands of dollars a day. Then it will. Because you have selected the reality wherein it's taking a lot of time. I am telling you, the women that I work with have seen shifts in weeks. People who were struggling to sell like $50 offers or sessions went on to sell thousands of dollars in coaching in weeks. And in a few months, they were completely new people doing television interviews, getting government fundings, and thriving in all areas of their life. So it's about the choice that you make. And I've been doing this work for the past 4 years, and I've worked with multiple different women of all age groups, of all ethnicities, from all around the world. And I can tell you, the proof is in the pudding. The more you understand that it is all a mental game. So all the stories that you're telling yourself, that is too hard for me, right? That's not possible. That's a lot of money. I can't be making that. You're choosing that reality. You're choosing a reality where that is the case, where making money is hard for you. I always step into the reality, which is like, I make sales every day. My business is booming. I make thousands of dollars a day. That is who I am in this moment. Right? Like I'm someone who, I always get what I want. Anything I invest my energy into, I will get that, or I'll get something 10 times better than that. And it doesn't take time. Right? It's literally to the point that the more I'm able to hold the identity of that successful version, and like now my self-concept around success is like crazy. The other day I was just sitting down and I was just like thinking about success, and I was like, oh my God, I am the embodiment of success because of the way I've turned my life around. In 2018, I was not this person. I didn't have this confidence. I didn't have this successful business. I didn't have this level of emotional regulation. I didn't have this level of understanding of human psychology. None of that. I was heavy. I was overweight. I had very low self-esteem. I was very envious of everyone. I was postpartum depression. I was frustrated. I was angry. I would blame everybody else. I would just feel like, things are never going to work out for me. I was that person. So, for me to go from that version of myself to who I am now, it's just crazy. For me, that is magic. For me, that is unreal. That's divine support for me. Because I had the courage to be like, I don't want this to continue. And I will do whatever it takes to get into a reality where I can feel proud of myself. I can be a good mom. Because how do you become a good mother? How do you become a good daughter? How do you become a good wife? How do you become a good woman? How do you become someone who gives back to this world if you're feeling so miserable inside? So, to everyone who feels like by them not living their fullest life, they're doing a favor to everyone, or they feel like I'm sacrificing myself so everyone gets what they want, that is BS. I'm going to say it as it is. That is BS. That's you being weak. That's you finding it as an excuse because you don't have the courage to go get what you want, to go create that self. You have to understand that you will only become those things. You will be able to be a better Muslim, be a better human, be a better mom, be a better wife. You can be a better person only if your own cup is full. When you go to bed at night, you don't have this feeling of remorse. You don't have this feeling of lack. You don't have this feeling of, oh my God, like, what am I doing with my life? Right? So I chose that. I was like, okay, fine. Up until this point, these are the beliefs I had, which were dictating my reality. It was that mirror effect. Because I had them, reality played out like that. Because the reality was playing out like that, I was confirming into that identity more and more. So when you get to this place, right, even in the life when you're up until this point, you have to take complete responsibility of how everything is happening in your life. Even the times where you felt like people betrayed you, they have wronged you, all of that happened because you were meant to experience certain level of powerlessness that will help you step into this level of power now. So why would you carry that hate and that frustration, that disappointment, or that pain that actually led to your awakening? Start looking at it from that angle. I am never of the belief who is like, forgive everyone. You have to become this peace, love, Buddha mentality. You don't have to. You don't have to forgive, but you can come to an acceptance within yourself that this is how I have been for the longest time, and I see how what role I played in this. I see what part I played in this situation. Why did this happen to me? I can see that. And then once you take responsibility, you also take your power back to change things around, and you're no longer waiting for an apology to happen. You're no longer waiting for someone to admit that what they did to you was wrong. Why do you need their validation for your pain? Why do you need that? Is your pain not enough for you to experience? Why do we rely so much on someone else feeling bad for us? And I know I didn't mean for this live to go that deep, but trust me, take back your power, take back accountability, let go of the obsession of trying to change everything around you. Let go of the obsession of trying to fix everything, trying to change everything. Your attachment to how things are right now is creating that block. You have to call back your energy. Even when you're getting triggered. I'm not saying don't have emotions. I'm not saying become numb. But I am saying observe it, feel it, know that it's not running the show. You're the one who's running the show. You're still in control. I'm still in control. Right? Start with find little ways where you can do this. Start practicing or observing yourself when you are getting obsessed about changing something. Like I said in the argument yesterday that I saw that I was trying to mess with the middle. I was trying to make things happen. Right? So when you do these things and when you step away from the obsession of trying to fix where you are and you're mentally living in a different reality, all the limiting beliefs and everything that was governing that reality will be left there. As I said in the photo analogy, when I was watching a picture and I realized that I don't recognize this picture anymore. I don't recognize the woman who is in that picture right now. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen. But you have to stop being so attached with how things are right now. You have to stop trying to fix that problem. You have to stop figuring it out. Tie your camel without obsessing over the type of rope it is. Will this rope hold the camel or not? Allah said tie the camel. He didn't say what type of rope it should be. How heavily you should have tied it. Tie your camel, make dua, let go. Let go as if the dua has already been accepted. There is nothing more for you to do. If you're not getting the exact thing that you're asking for, you're getting something 10 times better. We all know these things on a surface level. We all know these things. But are we the living embodiment of that? Are we actually accepting that as reality? No. We make dua and then we go doubt. Right? So make dua for everything. Have manifestation practice. Have all of these things. Do the things that you have to do. But when you come out of it like it's done. And who you're being, like I always say this, the 10 minutes meditation or 10 minutes journaling, 10 minutes of technique that you do here and there is not the solution. It's who are you being rest of the 23 hours, 50 minutes that makes the changes for you. Okay? So stop being so obsessed with your current situation. Stop being so obsessed with how people are showing up, how business is right now, how money is right now, how success is right now. Let go of that attachment. Every time you're investing energy into it, every time you're focusing into it, every time you're solving that problem, you're investing a lot of mental energy into that thing persisting even more in your reality. Your focus is your currency. If you're someone who's like, I want to do great things in life, I want to be very successful, I want to make a lot of money, I want to live a very fulfilled life, your focus is your energy. You can't be operating mentally like everybody else. You can't just be letting your mind have a trip of its own and keep overthinking and have all of these stories run in your head. You can't be doing that. You have to start operating differently, right? You see these highly successful people doing ice baths and doing all of these things. The reason they do all of these things, breath work, meditation, ice baths, books, and all these things is because they want to have dominance over how their brain works. And if you're like, you want to be that way, you want to have a very different reality from what you're living right now, then you have to have a very solid hold on what your brain, like where is your focus going? What am I watching? What things am I subscribing to? What am I doing right now that reinforces the old beliefs? Right? So if you're watching a lot of content which is like, entrepreneurship is hard, or sales is hard, or very clickbaity things, which is like, are you struggling with this? This is what you have to do. This is the solution. I know we live in a very marketing driven world, but again, the point is not becoming afraid of your thoughts. The point is observing it all and knowing that it has no impact over you. Okay? So if this video landed for you, I would be so happy just send me a DM and I will make more such videos. And if you have any questions, do that as well. All right, bye.